Today was Thanksgiving, and it started off like it always does, with Aunt Loretta showing up 2 hours early. Mom always makes me and Rodrick entertain Aunt Loretta, and that means talk to her until the rest of the family shows up. The biggest fights me and Rodrick have ever had were over who has to greet her first. The rest of the family started trickling in around 11 o'clock. Dad's brother, Uncle Joe, and his kids were the last ones to show up around 12:30. Uncle Joe's kids all called Dad the same thing: Aunt Frank. Mom thinks it's really cute, but Dad swears that Uncle Joe tells his kids to do it on purpose. Things are pretty tense between Dad and Uncle Joe, because Dad is still mad at Uncle Joe for something he did last Thanksgiving. Back then, Manny had just started potty training, and he was doing pretty good. In fact, he was probably about 2 weeks from being out of diapers. But Uncle Joe said something to Manny that changed everything. "Better look out for the potty monster, little fella." It was 6 months before Manny would even step foot in the bathroom again. Every time Dad changed a dirty diaper after that, I heard him cursing Uncle Joe under his breath. We had dinner around 2 o'clock, and then people went into the living room to talk. I didn't feel like talking, so I went in the family room to play video games. Eventually, I guess Dad had enough of the family too, so he went downstairs to work on his Civil War battlefield. But he forgot to lock the door to the furnace room, and Uncle Joe walked in after him. Uncle Joe seemed pretty interested in what Dad was working on, so Dad told him all about it. Dad gave Uncle Joe this big speech about the 150th Regiment and the role it played at Gettysburg, and spent about a half hour describing the whole battle. But I don't think Uncle Joe was really listening to Dad's speech. He sort of insulted Dad by saying, "Nice toys, big brother." Thanksgiving didn't last too much longer after that. Dad went upstairs and turned up the thermostat until it got stuffy and everyone cleared out. And that's pretty much how Thanksgiving ends every year at our house. You remember how I said Mom and Dad were going to eventually find out about Rodrick's party? Well, it finally happened today. Mom sent Dad out to pick up the pictures from Thanksgiving, and when Dad got back, you could tell he wasn't happy about something. The picture in Dad's hand was from Rodrick's party. It looked like one of Rodrick's friends accidentally took a picture with Mom's camera, which she keeps on the shelf above the stereo, and when he took the picture, it captured the whole scene. Rodrick tried to deny that he had a party, but everything was right there in the picture, so there really wasn't any point. Mom and Dad took away Rodrick's car keys and told him his punishment is that he's not allowed to leave the house for a whole month. They were even mad at me because they said I was Rodrick's accomplice. So I got hit with a 2-week video game ban. He was probably about 2 weeks from being out of diapers.
Being out of diapers. Being out of diapers.
Being out of diapers. In fact, he was probably about 2 weeks from being out of diapers. The rest of the family started trickling in around 11 o'clock.
Trickling in. Trickling in.
Trickling in. The rest of the family started trickling in around 11 o'clock. I heard him cursing Uncle Joe under his breath.
Under his breath. Under his breath.
Under his breath. Every time Dad changed a dirty diaper after that, I heard him cursing Uncle Joe under his breath. Mom sent Dad out to pick up the pictures from Thanksgiving.
Mom sent Dad out to pick up the pictures from Thanksgiving,